All right, everyone, good morning. It is 11:02. There are still some people joining us, but we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us. This is Freddie Wright over at Wheeler Digital. We're going to talk today about Google My Business and all of the recent changes that have come about that we are still learning about here at Wheeler Digital. We want to be sure all of our clients are on board with those and that we are being the best educator that we can be in getting the word out about all of these changes. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I hope everyone can see my screen. Please send me a message if you cannot. Also, there is a handout that was attached to the email yesterday that you received the password in. If you have that in front of you, most everything that we're talking about is in there so that you don't really have to take notes. We tried to keep the presentation in the same order as the handout, so hopefully that worked out for us. We might jump around a little bit, but it should be a good resource for you to follow up after the webinar to actually make and implement some of these things on your business, Google My Business page. So let's go ahead and dive right in here. For those of you who know me or who have worked with Wheeler Digital before, you know that we offer a full range of digital products. We are a digital agency that offers targeting, everything from retargeting your potential consumer all the way up through mobile conquesting and some more specialized products like household IP targeting, geofencing, geoframing. All of those things are stuff that we can talk about in other presentations, but we're not going to do that today. Today is solely educational. We want to talk to you about Google My Business and those changes that have come about. So again, that handout was attached to your email. Anytime you see on my screen this blue Find It button today, you will know that that is something that you can find directly in the handout that we gave to you. Again, we might be jumping around just a little bit today, but that blue Find It button says for sure that more information on that topic is in your handout. That's probably something that I won't dive into really in depth if you see the blue Find It button, but that is in depth in your handout. So let's go ahead and get started here. Why are we here today? Well, who runs the world? At this point, it's Google. Google is controlling everything SEO. Google is the #1 search platform in the world. And with that being said, Google absolutely runs the world. They rolled out some new changes in Google My Business, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So, you know, when someone Googles your business, any business, when they go to Google and they type in something, what do users usually do after they do that, after they go to Google? Well, this pie chart breaks it out for us, and this tells us exactly why we are here. 48.96%, nearly half of all Google searches end up as a zero-click search, meaning they type in a search term in the Google search bar, and that end user finds the information they're looking for right on Google. They never click any further to a client website. All they see is the information that is populated on Google. Usually they're able to find a telephone number and directions, maybe a physical address and directions, but that's it. That's why Google My Business is so important to everyone on this phone call today. The next biggest chunk of this pie chart is organic clicks to websites. So that's roughly 41%. Only 41% of people go further than the Google page and actually go to your website. These other chunks of the pie, 3.5% are paid clicks to your website, maybe a Google AdWord. And then the other chunk there is the, sorry, having some trouble with the screen here. The other chunk here is 0.11 paid clicks to Google sites. So not everyone is going to your website for information like they used to. Google and Google My Business, Knowledge Graph, and Snack Pack, which are terminologies that we'll get into here in a minute, those are where people are finding information about your business. So we want to be sure that each of you knew about the changes that Google has recently rolled out. So that's why we're having this call today. So let's go ahead, hop right in. SEO, get some terminology out of the way. SEO, of course, stands for Search Engine Optimization. And that is the practice of improving and promoting a website to increase the number of visitors the site receives. So basically, a lot of information Google sees as invisible. If you, for example, load a photo to your website, Google doesn't know what that photo is. You have to, on the back end of your website, tell Google what that photo is of. You have to put in what's called an alt tag or a descriptive tag. A lot of things are invisible to Google. So with Google My Business, it's kind of the same way. Google has a limited, just a little bit of limited information about your business. So they're relying on you to come to them and give them more information. So that is exactly what we're talking about today. Thinking about SEO though, an SEO joke, where's the best place to hide a dead body? Well, that'd be page 2 of Google, because if you're not ranking on the first page of Google, you're never going to be found. Most users find exactly what they're looking for at the top of the first Google search page. This shows it right here in proof, right here on the screen. 33% of users click the first organic listing once they Google something. 33% is what gets that website traffic, is that first organic listing, and then it goes down from there. The top 3 organic results get over half of those clicks from a Google search. So SEO is super important. Some of you might say, well, then shouldn't I buy search ads, those pay-per-click ads, so that you're at the top of the page? Well, actually, on average, only 10% of all website traffic to a business website comes from those paid search ads. The other 90% of website traffic comes from organic search or other websites listed below that pay-per-click ad. In fact, 73% of small to medium businesses said using AdWords produced very few, if any, business leads. So Google AdWords, although they're the first thing to appear at the top of the page, that's not the key to search engine optimization. Getting ranked organically on the first page of a search engine for your keywords related to your business, that is hard to do. What's better is to manage and maintain your Google My Business listing. In fact, Google My Business counts for about 25% of local search ranking factors. That's a huge chunk of that algorithm, 25%. So that being said, again, terminology, let's get this out of the way. What is Google My Business? Well, here it is, a one-sentence description. Google My Business is an online dashboard that allows business owners to have more control over the information Google displays about their business when it populates search results and Google Maps. So, in essence, Google My Business can help increase your search engine optimization. Some more terminology. Here you can see I have Googled jewelers in Seattle. Up popped the Google paid ads at the top, those pay-per-click Google AdWords. You can see there they say engagement rings in Seattle and Seattle jewelry store. Just under that it shows a map with 3 jewelers close to me when I made that search. That's called the 3-pack or the snack pack. You'll hear it called either of those things. And it's basically a local listing, and it's organic. It's not usually paid. It's a listing that appears below the map, and it's populated from information that Google pulls from businesses' Google My Business listings. Another way that information might be populated, one more thing I was going to add to that. Here a customer could get the hours, the address, phone number, enough information that they might not need to click any further. So that is an example of one of those zero-click searches. If I'm searching for a jeweler in Seattle and I see that Green Lake Jewelry Works is open until 5 o'clock today and I have the address, I can click for directions. I never need to click to their website. I know exactly what I'm looking for, so if I click for directions, I don't need to go to their website. So that is a great example of a zero-click search. And again, this information comes straight from what you tell Google on your Google My Business page. Another terminology word that you'll hear me talk more about today is the knowledge graph, and that is an organic, not paid listing that appears when you Google the actual name of a business. So when I just showed you the snack pack or that 3-pack, what I had Googled was jeweler in Seattle. In this screenshot example, you can see here, I Googled an actual business name in Seattle. So I Googled Crane Jewelers. So now what's popped up is a knowledge graph. It tells me everything about Crane Jewelers. You can see here it gets a little more in depth. Yes, it shows me some of the same information that was on that 3-pack or snack pack. It gives me directions, hours, location, phone number, but it goes a little bit further. Here I can see reviews from the business. I can ask a question. I could write a review. I could add a photo of something that I've purchased. I can also click to see photos that the business owner has uploaded. I could even click to see inside of the jewelry store. So that is a knowledge graph. Again, that information is pulled from what you tell Google My Business. With this now, again, expanded capabilities that are rolling out with Google. Here a searcher can see all sorts of stuff that you have the opportunity to populate into your Google My Business page. So, having gotten the terminology out of the way and showing you what these things that we're talking about will look like to the end user when they're searching for your business online, let's break it down and make SEO, Google My Business, a little bit simpler. Google uses hundreds of search ranking signals to determine where a business shows up in organic search results. And they break down into these three categories: relevance, distance, and prominence. Let's hop right into relevance, that first bucket of what Google is using in their algorithm. And relevance is how well a local listing matches what someone is searching for. Adding complete and detailed business information to your Google My Business listing will help Google to better understand the business and match that business, your business, to relevant searches that are being made in your area. So let's talk more about relevance. First thing, and again, this is all in your handout for those of you who have just joined us. The handout that I emailed out to you as a download yesterday has all of these in depth, and you can find all of that information there. First and foremost, though, to get to your Google My Business page, you would go to google.com/business. You can see that here on the screen. And you would click the Manage Now button, that green Manage Now button in the upper right-hand corner. This is not something, this dashboard is not something that the public has access to. It's a dashboard for Google information that only a business can claim. There are a few steps that you have to go through to actually claim this business. One could be, the traditional way was when you go to claim a business, they have to mail a postcard to you to verify that the address is correct. It actually has, the postcard used to have a PIN code on it that you would then go back to your Google My Business page and insert in to verify that someone who actually works at the business was the one claiming the Google My Business page. They've upgraded and joined the times a little bit. Now, if you have a cell phone connected to your business, they can actually text you a code, which makes this process a little bit easier. Or if there's a landline and someone is present at that landline at your business, you can actually have a robot call and give you that PIN number in real time as soon as you hit the button. So those are the verification things, and that's what I mean by the public cannot access your Google My Business page, the dashboard, because of those verification purposes. So again, to claim or manage your Google My Business page, all of the detailed steps are in your handout, but you would go to google.com/business and click that green Manage Now button to get started. So once you're there, you would log in with your Gmail address, or if you haven't claimed your listing, that of course has to be done first. And again, you see that blue Find It button on the screen. That in detail is in your handout. If your listing has been claimed, this is something with turnover in companies. This is a question that I get all the time. If your business listing has been claimed on Google My Business, but you didn't do it, maybe it was a previous employee, maybe a superior claimed it and now they've forgotten the password. What you can do is go ahead and go back to that Google My Business page and try to log in. When you type in the physical address of your business, what Google will actually do is show you a snippet of the email address that was used to claim it. That then allows you, hopefully, to follow up with the person who claimed it to get more information. This has worked with a couple of our clients, previous employees. Thankfully, the businesses still had good relationships with those previous employees. We're able to call them up and say, we understand that you claimed this. We now need to take control of that. Please help us out with the password. And it's worked out seamlessly. Some more points to make on the big questions that I get all the time. If I have multiple locations, what do I do? Well, each and every single location that you have should have its own Google My Business listing. With that being said, inconsistencies in the information that you're feeding to Google My Business, that will negatively impact your search ranking. So you want to be sure that everything is accurate and filled out to the best of your knowledge. If you have those multiple locations, be sure you have a Google My Business listing for each and every single physical address. Also, another good point, having a local number helps with SEO. Having a national call center number listed, that's not going to do anything for your local SEO and those people who are searching for your business locally. So if there's any way to tie it to a local number, Google likes that, and they're going to give you, preferential treatment for having that. All right, so some clients, once they finally get logged into their Google My Business page, they're ready to start making changes, ready to start telling Google about the business and feeding Google information. They log in, they see this Google My Business dashboard, and they get overwhelmed. My goal today is to break it down into a few simple steps, make it very simple to understand. Again, all of this is in that handout, but what I want to do is focus on this left-hand column, everything that you see in the left-hand column. So let's go ahead and dive right in to the first one. The first one here is posts. Essentially, now you have the capability to tell Google and searchers exactly what your business is doing. Here you can come and you can tell, you can make a post about a sale that's coming up this weekend. You can talk about, an event, a concert, whatever it may be, whatever is happening with your business, you can put it right here on Google so that when someone searches for your business, that Google My Business listing, that knowledge graph that comes up, or that 3-pack, that snack pack, this information is right there. Again, this information is to help those people who are not clicking to your website to get the most information about your business that they can straight from Google. So with that being said, here you can have a call to action button on this post. Those call to action buttons could be something like order online, buy now, learn more, sign up, call now. All of these become great action points for people who are not going to your website, rather they're just kind of looking at these latest posts. Once you write a post, you would hit the publish button there at the top. Another note, Google says that an optimal link for these posts should be 1,000 to 1,500 words. That's a lot. Not every business is going to have enough time to do that for every single one of their events or posts that they want to make. We don't have time to do that ourselves. What is important to take from this? Do whatever you have time to do. Making a post is better than not doing this at all. If someone searches for you, you want them to find the most accurate and up-to-date information on your upcoming events that they can. So doing something is better than nothing. You can see here, you can also make your post stand out by uploading a photo or video. So if you have other marketing running, maybe that you have video for, you can also populate that here into this post on Google My Business. So once you do that, you type that post, you upload the photos and the videos with that post. That's going to be live for 7 days. Where does it show? It actually shows right here in the knowledge graph. You can see here in this screenshot example, I searched for Thomas Law Offices. Up popped on the right-hand side my knowledge graph because I searched for this business by the business name. The knowledge graph popped up for Thomas Law Offices, and it shows me here at the bottom of that knowledge graph the post that I just made. It shows me the photo that I attributed to the post and the information that I just posted. Again, that's going to stay live for 7 days, but after that 7 days, it goes into a library. You see there on the bottom right-hand corner, if the end user were to press view all, they could see all of your previous posts prior to that 7-day window. So this really is a good way to get information, current information out on your Google My Business page to those people searching for you on Google. The next thing I want to talk about is adding photos. Photos will appear in that knowledge graph. The more photos that you can put on your Google My Business listing, the better. If you don't put photos up, Google is going to pull photos for you. We have seen things pop up like a blank field. We saw, pictures of a sketchy back door, maybe on your loading dock. It looks very sketchy. It's not inviting for a customer to want to come visit you because it's your back door, it's your entry door. It's not something inviting. So putting up as many photos as you can to highlight, your business is what you need to do. So the more photos that you can do, the better. Sometimes Google will also pull images that they have taken with their Google Maps car. Again, those are sometimes not the best for your business. Sometimes they will also pull photos and post them here on this knowledge graph, photos that your customers have posted. And again, those may not be the best photos. So pre-populating and putting your photos up so that they show up at the top of your knowledge graph is what we should all practice. Hopping back to that left-hand corner, we've now talked about posts, we've talked about photos. That left-hand corner, the next thing in the box on the left-hand column is info. What this allows us to do is tell Google all of the pertinent information, the basic information about our business. So what we're able to do, of course, is correct any inaccuracies about our business name. With that, we also want to select a very specific category for our business. There are hundreds of categories that you can choose from on Google My Business. You can see here, we did not just select attorney. We did not just select lawyer. We selected personal injury attorney. So be sure you go through the entire list to find the one thing that fits your business perfectly. You want to be sure that your physical address is correct. This physical address is what Google My Business feeds to the person Googling you on how to find you, on how to get to you. So if someone Googles your business and they press the button that says get directions to this location, this physical address is where the mapping function is taking them to. So you absolutely want to be sure there's no inaccuracies with that physical address. Also there at the bottom, you want to be sure your business hours are accurate and correct. We stumble upon this all the time. Business hours, Google has taken a guess on, and then when you log in and you claim your Google My Business page, you have to change them. So be sure to pay special attention to that. With that, you can also put in a description about your business. You can see here we put a little bit of descriptive about this Thomas Law office there, and we also plugged in the open date just to give that business credibility. So all of that information that we just told Google is now populating in the knowledge graph, as you can see here in that screenshot. Also, a brand new feature that's rolling out from Google My Business. You can now add a shortcut URL where your customers can find your listing on Google. So just like you should have already claimed on Facebook, facebook.com/yourbusinessname, that's called a vanity URL on Facebook. We encourage you to do the same on Google My Business. So be sure you go in and you add a profile short name. That is found under the info section in Google My Business. If you click info in that left-hand column, and then toward the bottom, you can add a profile short name. What this allows you to do, in this case, we chose Thomas Law as the profile short name. When we saved it, people can now go to g.page/Thomas Law. Or in your case, g.page/yourbusinessname. So that is a direct way for them to get more information about your business. So here's an example. If I type g.page/Thomas Law, up pops the knowledge graph there on the right-hand side. So you might be saying, okay, cool, but how does this benefit me? What can I do with it? How should you use that shortened Google URL? Our best practice is for Google reviews. Everybody is all about getting Google reviews, positive reviews. So now you can actually have something in your location that says, review us on Google. Actually give your customer the address to go to. In this case, if they wanted to review Thomas Law could tell them, go to g.page/Thomas Law. Sometimes the customer, when you ask them to leave a review, they want to. They want to because they love you. But they don't know how. They say that and they agree with you and they're like, yeah, I'll do it. And you never get that review because they don't know what they're doing. So if you tell them directly, go to g.page/Thomas Law and leave us a review, the chances of that happening increase. Also, you want to go ahead and brag about those positive reviews. So in any of your marketing that you're doing, why not say, go read our reviews? The majority of customers say that they are going to respond and go to a business that has positive reviews. So why not put that out there? So to have a Google reviews badge, kind of like we do here on the lower right-hand side of the screen, that says, read our reviews, go to g.page/yourbusiness short name, is absolutely fine to do. We encourage it. Use that short URL as you wish. Again, this is a new feature that's rolled out, so the faster you can claim your business name on Google, the better off you would be. Speaking of reviews, I wanted to point out on page 7 of your handout, there is a website. Google actually tells you how you should respond to reviews. They want you to respond not only to the positive, but to the negative. They want you to respond to both in the public eye so that your potential customers can see how you're handling customer service. So on page 7, there is a website address from Google that you can go to as a resource that actually tells you how you should respond to those negative reviews. We realize, and we get a lot of questions on this, a lot of businesses sometimes don't know how to respond to those. And so this, on page 7, that website is a great resource for responding to those. All right, moving on down that left-hand column, the next thing that we want to talk about is insights. So we're telling you to go and do all this stuff and spend all this time populating information on your Google My Business page. How do you know if it's working? Right here, this Insights button on the left-hand side is going to tell you who is searching for your business and what are they doing. So right here, you can see it pops up on this first Insights graph, and it tells us how customers are searching for your business. So the screenshot that I've pulled here in the last month, it shows me the green are direct searches, customers who found the business listing by searching for the business name or the address. The blue, which is a little bit of a greater chunk of that pie chart, are discovery searches. And those are actually customers who found the business listing by searching for a category, a product, or service, something that we have fed to Google as information about our business. We can take that a step further. This Insights tab also shows us what search terms people typed into Google when they found our Google My Business listing. So as we would expect in this case, again, continuing with Thomas Law Offices, that is the #1 search term that people typed in to Google to find their Google Knowledge Graph and more information about them on Google My Business. But you see things further down in that list: personal injury, lawyer near me, hurt in accident, truck accident. All of these things are they're search terms that people are typing into Google to find Thomas Law Offices on Google. So this helps us to know more about the keywords that we should use in our posts on Google My Business, but also if you are currently managing your business website, you should absolutely include all of these Google My Business keywords somewhere within the content and the keywords for your website. If you're not doing and managing your business website, you should do a screenshot of this, get that over to your web developer, your web maintenance team, whoever it is, and let them know this is how we're being found on Google. These are definitely search terms and keywords that we should have on our business website. In addition to all of that stuff, continuing further with insights, we can actually see what people are doing. Here we can see the people who found us on search, the people who found us on maps. We can also see in that bottom graph there the number of people who click further to the website, the number of people who request directions by clicking the Get Directions button. We can see the number of people who click to call you from the Google My Business page, or message. Message is also another function of Google My Business that we will get to here in just a second. So Insights tells you everything. Again, we're telling you to do all this stuff and spend all this time, keep Google My Business updated just like it's your website. This shows you that it's working and how those people are interacting with your Google My Business page. We can also drill down and see exactly the areas where customers are requesting directions to your business from. It shows us that from zip code heat map there. And we can also, on the phone call section, see when and how many times customers are calling your business. This is all information that you have in the Insights button on that free Google My Business dashboard. Photo views. As you're uploading photos and getting rid of those sometimes poor quality, not the best images out there that Google has pre-populated on your Google My Business page, what you can see is the number of times your photos are being viewed. That's the blue line. So you can see there the number of times your photos have been viewed, for example, is the blue line. And red, it actually compares your business and the photos that you're posting to businesses like you. And it shows you that in the screenshot there in red. So in this case, this particular client's photos were being viewed 420% more times than similar businesses. All right, the next biggest thing is reviews, and that's there again in that left-hand column. So if we click reviews, up pops this screen. Looks a little overwhelming at first, especially when you have all of these customers who have come in and interacted with you, who have left reviews, positive and negative. Google tries to break it down. So they're going to have an all tab at the top that shows you every review that you have ever gotten. They're going to have a replied tab because, again, they want you to reply to each and every Google review. And they also break it down into a haven't replied, kind of a big red flag that says, hey, these are the ones you need to work on this week. You haven't replied to these. Again, it is worth saying over and over again, Google wants you to respond to every single review you get, positive and negative. Messaging, I mentioned this a second ago. So over in that left-hand side, if you click messaging, it's an optional text messaging that Google has now released that each business has. It's a free capability. You decide if you want to turn it on. If you do, you would click messaging there. Up pops this pop-up window that allows you to interact with your customers through text message. What it wants you to do after you turn it on is to actually install the Google My Business app. You can install that on Google Play or from the App Store. That Google My Business app, when you go to those stores, looks like this. It is a well-made app that you should download for ease of managing your Google My Business page, whether you're going to turn on that text messaging option or not. We encourage you to get it just so that you can respond, make changes on the fly. Another offering that Google has, you can change your hours for if there's an upcoming holiday. So maybe you're at home and you realize, oh, I forgot to change the hours. We're closed on Monday. You can use the app with pretty, ease of access to get to your Google My Business page and update the hours for that holiday. So Google My Business app is a good one that every business should have. So on the text message option, once we turn it on, we have the app downloaded to interact with our potential customers through text message. Where does someone see the option to text your business? Well, right here on a mobile device. If they Google your business on a smartphone or within Google Maps, up pops that little bit of information that Google knows about us. And you can see there, in addition to the get directions, the click to call, there is now a message button that they can click. And if they do, up pops kind of a text message window. You can see here, they texted to Thomas Law Offices, I would like an appointment. We actually have set up a kind of a direct response that says, hello, we'll contact you shortly, just to let them know that their message was received. You can see there at the bottom, you can actually type a message back within the app and get it back to that potential customer. That first greeting is customizable. You can type in whatever you want. Back to the knowledge graph, you can see here on that right-hand side, searchers can also ask questions right on that knowledge graph. What's tricky about this one is anyone can answer those questions. What we encourage you to do, most Google My Business pages do not have questions there, but it's a great tool to get information about your business out. So we encourage you to go in and pre-populate questions and answers for your business, some of the most frequently asked questions. To answer a question, once someone does ask one, once a potential customer does ask a question, you, as the business owner, the page owner of that Google My Business listing, actually cannot answer those questions within your Google My Business listing. It's weird. We don't understand it. Don't ask us why. But what Google encourages you to do is, to open up a mobile browser or Google Maps and type in the name of your business and then click on See Questions. So you cannot answer questions on a desktop. You have to use a mobile browser or Google Maps. Again, it's weird. We don't understand it. But again, Google runs the world, so we'll do what they say. So right here, up pops the screen on our mobile device. Once we typed in Thomas Law Offices and we clicked questions, now we can click that answer button. It's a good idea for businesses to go ahead and, again, put in FAQs and answers, and also check this regularly for questions that people have posted that might be unanswered, or, again, anyone can answer these questions, so you want to be sure that answers are accurate. So definitely keep a check on this as often as possible. With that being said, Google should be notifying you whenever questions come or reviews come. To be sure that that's happening, you can go over to the Settings button, again, under Google My Business in that left-hand column, click Settings, and you want to be sure all of these check boxes are ticked. Be sure they're all checked on so that you're getting updates when someone makes a post, sends you feedback, post a photo, whatever they're doing. I will say here, we have heard from clients when a review has been posted that they did not receive a notification from Google. So what we actually encourage you to do is go ahead and set a reminder. You should be updating and looking at your Google My Business page weekly. So we encourage our clients to go ahead and set a calendar reminder every week, same day every week, to go ahead and take a look at your Google My Business page. That will help with your search engine optimization ranking. And again, we keep saying, anyone can suggest an edit to your business. If they go to your Google My Business page and they think, oh, they actually close at 4 o'clock, when in reality, your business hours are 9 to 5, someone could suggest an edit and say, they close at 4. Google doesn't have to verify that information with you. If they think it is correct, they will update your Google My Business listing for you and say, oh, that Google user is probably correct. We're going to change the hours to 4 o'clock. So it is very important for you to go in and make sure on a weekly basis that no one is suggesting false or inaccurate edits, and to be sure that your reviews, that you're responding to those, positive and negative, and also that any questions that are being posted are being responded to accurately. So go ahead and mark your calendar weekly basis to check in with Google My Business. Right here is an example of if someone wants to suggest an edit to your business Google My Business page. On that knowledge graph, they can click the Suggest an Edit button. This is not something that can be turned off. And again, Google does not always notify you when an edit has been made. Remember, almost half of users don't click beyond the Google search page. So that is why all of these things are important. We want to be sure all of that information is super accurate there on the Google Knowledge Graph within Google My Business, so that the information they're getting is accurate. So now, all of those things that we just talked about mean that you're now relevant. You have done everything that you can do within Google My Business to help Google to better understand your business and match that searcher up with your business. So I mentioned there were 3 separate buckets that Google kind of drops everything into when it comes to search engine optimization. So that first bucket was relevance. The second is distance. And distance, it's just what it sounds like. It's how far is the search result from the location term used in a search. So basically, the closer your business is to the searcher who is making that search, the more likely Google is to move you to the top of the listings. You cannot change how close that searcher is to your business. This is really nothing that you can change or edit, nothing you can do. You can't change your physical address to help a searcher. So this is a bucket that Google controls based on your physical address. So being sure your physical address is accurate on your Google My Business page is really the only thing that you can do to help with this distance bucket. The third bucket is the prominence bucket, and this is how well known a business is, and it's also based on information that Google has about your business from across the web. This is not information solely from Google My Business. This is information coming from links or articles where your business name is listed in or that you've written, directories, your Google reviews, positive and negative, and website traffic to your website. So prominence is SEO. Everything that we've talked about up until this point is stuff that you can do for free on your own. SEO, if you have a web team, you can continue to do that too, but it takes a professional to do so. And a few things when we're talking about SEO that you want to be sure you're doing are on-page factors and off-page factors. So you want to be sure Google understands everything on your website. Again, I mentioned at the beginning an example of if you load a photo to your website, Google doesn't know what that photo is of. You have to go in and give the photo a description and an alt tag, keywords that tell Google what that photo is of. All of those things are important on the page, but also off the page, being sure your business is submitted to the appropriate online directories and search engines. Also, online reputation management, being sure that you're responding to reviews not only on Google My Business, but Facebook reviews and Yelp reviews and Better Business Bureau reviews. No matter what that is, you want to be sure that all of those SEO factors are covered to help fill this prominence bucket with the most accurate information that you can. Something else, a free tool that you can do right now that Google offers, Google will lower your search ranking if your website speed is super low. So having a fast loading website is one of the best things that you can do. So here is actually a free tool that you can go to right now. It's just called thinkwithgoogle.com. If you go to thinkwithgoogle.com, what you do is you actually type in your website name, and it tells you how quickly your mobile website loads. So here's an example. This website, it took 3.7 seconds to load. Seems pretty quick to me, but when you're sitting there holding a mobile phone and you're waiting on a website to load, Google says that rating is actually slow. 3.7 seconds is slow. It's a crazy world we live in. So with that being said, what you can do is click the blue button there at the upper right-hand corner that says Generate Report. What that gives us, it will actually email to you more in-depth information on what you can do to improve that mobile website loading time. In this case, what it tells us on the report, best practice for a mobile load time is under 3 seconds, because more than half of visits are abandoned if a mobile website takes more than 3 seconds to load. So 3 seconds is that perfect spot that Google wants you to be at. So this is a good free report, thinkwithgoogle.com, that you can go to right now and figure out how quickly your mobile website is loading, which will help you, again, fill that prominence bucket, that third bucket in the algorithm that Google is using to rank your business on Google. Something else that the pros can help you to do is rank for voice search. I'm sure a lot of you, myself included, are always talking to Siri, Google Home, Amazon Alexa. What you want to be sure is that you are coming up in that position 0, so that when somebody says, hey Google, what's the closest pizza joint? What's the closest pizza place that will deliver to me? You want to be the listing that Google spits out information for. And that's called position 0. That's the featured snippet at the top of the search page that Google actually reads aloud, or whatever voice assistant you are using. Some of the things that help with that, again, would be the website speed of loading, the Google My Business listing optimization, everything we've talked about, some keywords, directory listings. All of those things help you get to what's called position 0, being the business that the voice assistant reads out loud information about. So all of that, SEO, Google My Business, everything we've talked about today, that's just one piece of the puzzle. We've told you the 3 big buckets that things fall into as far as the algorithm with Google. But other things that you can do include other products on our wheel. And we would love to take the opportunity to invite you to reach out to us if you have questions. Digital marketing is our specialty. We work with dozens of businesses across the country. Each campaign is customized. In our view, there is no single auto buyer. There is no credit union member. There is no furniture buyer. Each and every business is custom and unique, and we treat the campaigns in that manner, and we go after and target your consumer, your client, in that manner. We do not duplicate campaigns. There is not a cookie cutter approach. Every campaign that we build and have success with is built custom from the ground up by getting to know your business and your customer and who you're looking to target. So we invite you to reach out. Again, my name is Freddie Wright. I'm Digital Director here at Wheeler Digital. I would love to get to know more information about your business and get to know you and help you come up with a customized plan of how we can help you continue with Google My Business and making that accurate, and how we can help you target your potential customers. So I thank you all for joining us today. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email. I'm at fwright@wheelerdigital.com, or you can give me a call. Again, we thank you for joining us, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.